today? Hello. Hi, Kirsty. Hello, Pumpkin Girl. How are we all doing this morning, this fine Tuesday morning here in the alpine region of Victoria, Australia? How are we today? It's a little bit brisk, a little bit windy. You can probably see the wind. You can see all the ripples in the blind behind me. You can probably hear all the birds. Can you hear all the birds? Hello, hello. Da, 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 da. Animal lover. Hello, my dear. How are you? Are you having a good day? Or did you have a good day? Because it's your evening now, isn't it? Forsaken Explorer, hello. Trophy, hello. You hear all the cockatoos flying over. Hello, was that Texas Regina I just saw there? It is indeed. Good afternoon. Well, good afternoon, love. To you. Good morning to me, however. How are we? Has everyone had a good day? Angry Duck. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, Killer's a good boy. Mostly. He's mostly a good boy. Oh, you had a beautiful day? That's so good. I'm glad. Today, I think we're going to have a good day too. It's overcast at the moment, and all the birds are waking up. I can hear up here in the high country. We've got these birds. Trophy will know, called carawongs, and they tend to come up here when autumn comes. And I can hear them everywhere. I don't know if you can hear them over the cockatoos, but they have such a haunting sound, the carawongs. They're sort of a little bit like, they're a big bird, sort of a bit like a crow, but not that real deep black. They're sort of like a washed out black, and they've got these big yellow eyes. They're actually quite pretty. And then when they fly and they open their wings up, they've got white under their wings. But I like carawongs, and I like that haunting cry that they make early in the morning and on dusk. So what have you all been up to today? Catch me up on your news. They are. My goodness me, I'm losing my voice. Yes, they are, Trophy. They're awesome birds. Great calls, extremely intelligent. Yeah. Yes, they are. Good morning, Sharon, my friend in Melbourne. Hope you're doing well down there at work, answering phones. Doesn't sound much like my idea of fun, I must say. It's probably not your idea of fun either, but hope you're well, love. So today, what have we got to talk about? Well, look, the solar panels never went up. I have reached out to several companies. I've reached out to 3 companies to pays the bills. Yeah, that's right. Hey, Glenn, welcome in. I've reached out to, thank you very much, Glenn. Thank you very much for the like. I do appreciate the like. If you haven't given it a like up, if you haven't given it a like or a thumbs up yet, that would be great. But where was I? Yes, solar company. So the solar company never turned up, and I have reached out to about 3 others, and to ask them to come and give me a quote, because I'm really starting to worry, because now they're saying, the company that I first got the quote from, they're now saying, oh look, I know we said after May, but September, October's after May, isn't it? You know, and I'm like, are we looking at September, October? I hope we're not looking at September, October. So, and I'm starting to worry that it's just not going to happen. And I don't want to be sitting here this time next year still waiting for a new solar system to be put up on the roof. So I'm reaching out to other companies for other quotes. I've had one quote back so far, and I'm waiting on another two. I am going to call for ACCC, but I haven't done it yet because, I mean, look, at this point, I mean, I'm still sort of hopeful that they're going to turn up and do it. That would be the best case scenario for me, but I am getting other quotes just in case they don't. I don't want to be waiting till September, October. So I will wait till May, June, because they've said May, June initially. But if it's not there, if it's not on the roof by that point, I will ask for my deposit back, which I should get. Susan, can you scroll up? I got something cool yesterday, says Joshua. Oh, yes, yes. I did see, because when I left the live, Ace, they were on their way to go and collect Gus. So I'm so glad that Gus is a dog, for any of you that aren't across the conversation Ace and I are having currently. Yeah, I'm glad he's on his way home. That's so awesome. He was a lucky boy. Oh, thank you, Forsaken Explorer. Says, we all love you, Susan. Thank you very much. I love you all too. You're such a great support for me. Yeah, it is a bit of a nightmare. I wasn't expecting not to have a solar system, especially going into winter. Normally in autumn, we're madly getting all the firewood ready for winter. And so I have a log burner in the lounge room, and I also have a wood stove which heats our water and cooks all our food. So we actually rely very heavily on firewood, which we've harvested from the property here, to keep us warm and to keep everything going over winter. But because my friend and helper here on the farm, Kevin, has fractured a couple of vertebrae in his spine, and because I tore a tendon in my arm, neither of us are able to do the firewood with the same gusto that we normally would. No, Ace isn't yelling, everyone. Ace doesn't have the best eyesight, so she puts things in capitals, and when I'm in lives with Ace, I put things in capitals for her as well. It just makes it a lot easier for her. But she's not yelling, no. No, I still don't have a fridge. I haven't even had time to look for a fridge. I've been so busy talking to people from different solar companies, and of course every company I approach, they've got a completely different idea of what brands I should use and what setup I should use, and one of them thinks I should have 2 inverters, not 1 inverter. I don't know why. That doesn't seem at all logical to me. So there's been a lot of time spent toing and froing between different solar companies. So no, I haven't even started looking for a replacement fridge, and I haven't even got round to having a look at the car yet, which I'm going to have to do, because next week I have to go into town, and it will be the first time it's been driven or even run since the great fire brigade incident. So I need to look at the car as well. But to get back to what I was saying is that normally we would rely, my daughter and I, very heavily on firewood to keep us warm in the winter and to keep everything running. And we haven't been able to do that this year because Kevin has an injury, I have an injury, and we do have firewood in the shed, but it's not a lot compared to normal. Rusty Bucket, welcome in, my dear. So I figured, since I'm clearly not going to be getting a solar system in the next 2 to 3 months at least, I'm fairly confident, even if I go with a different company. My goodness, those birds are so loud. Yeah, I'm clearly, wow, I wonder if I can show them to you. I'll probably miss it by the time I get out there. No, they're, I'm clearly not going to be getting a solar system put up before winter. I'm fairly confident about that. Oh, what a horrible angle. Oh, there's a big eagle up there. I can see an eagle. Maybe that's what's upsetting them. Oops. So what I've decided to do is some of the money that I had been putting aside for the solar system, I've pulled some of that out, and I'm getting a firewood delivery. Something I've not done before. Well, no, I lie. I have had a firewood delivery before, but not for about 10 years. So I'm going to have a firewood delivery, and it will be coming theoretically within the hour. So I believe they're already on their way here. So we'll get to watch that happening, and that'll be exciting. And then my daughter and I are probably going to have to spend the next 2 weeks loading it into the shed because I'm getting a lot. No, I didn't. I bought from the mill at Mount Samaria, Trophy. Quite a lot of my neighbours here get their wood from the mill at Mount Samaria, and they say that the quality of the wood is really, really good, and it's nicely seasoned, which of course is important. I am getting, I lie, but not often, and only when I have to, says Rusty Bucket. Yeah, so that's where I'm getting it from, Trophy. I'm guessing you get yours from Curly's, do you? I mean, the thing is, I've got plenty of dead trees up here, you know. I've got plenty of wood on the property. I'm just not able to do anything with it this season. But I guess it means I'll have more for next year, with any luck. But I think, for a start, do my fly up. That's very important. Let us go for a little bit of a wander. I'll put that in there. I don't know how they're going to go getting up the driveway, because I think I've already said I've ordered 10 cubic meters, which is a lot of firewood. But having said that, I also don't think that would be enough to get us through a winter. It might be. It'd be close, but I don't know if it would be quite there. And like, I have a very steep drive, and I sort of said to them, are you sure you're going to be able to manage to get the truck up my driveway with 10 cubic meters? And And they said, oh yeah, it'll be fine, it'll be fine. So if they're not here within the hour, we sort of know that it wasn't fine. But let me turn you around. You go through about 12 to 14 cubes. Yeah. I've probably got about, oh, look, I'm not sure how much I've got in the shed at the moment. Like, I've got a bit, but it wouldn't be enough. Especially if it ends up being a cold winter. Like if it's a mild winter, clearly you don't go through as much. Now what we're doing to start off with is we're going to go down there. There's a wooden gate there. We're going to go and open that wooden gate. How are you, Rusty Bucket? It is. It's a lovely view. Tuesdays is our farm walk around day. Texas Regina saying hello to everyone. And we will have a farm walk around, but usually we go for a walk sort of all the way up there and past that hay shed sometimes, and we look at the cows and we look at the sheep and we say hello to the chickens. Oh, that's right, I haven't fed the chickens yet, have I? Must get onto that. Flavors Down Under, how are you, my dear? And how are you, Joshua? So we will still be doing a farm walk around, but I need to sort of hang a little bit closer to the house, at least until this big truck arrives. So we're just walking down to the wooden gate. You can probably see it now, can you? I can hear all the carawongs. Can you hear those birds? Hear the crickets? I can hear plenty of crickets. I don't think you'd have too much trouble hearing the crickets. Josh is, yes. Joshua is a lovely person. You can hear them? That's good. I'm glad. So we'll get down here and open this gate. I've been pruning all these trees the last few days just to make sure that the truck could actually get through. They needed a bit of a prune, these poor old trees. So they're not doing well, these driveway trees. It just gets too windy up here. I don't know if it's windy where you are, Trophy. We're sort of quite high up on the hill, and the trees just keep splitting. So I'm thinking that come autumn, if I can, I'm going to plant other trees in between each one, because they're all just collapsing. He'll be absolutely... Oh, this isn't the steep part, Trophy. Not at all. Down there on the corner, you can just see a really, really old apple tree. And from the apple tree back up towards the house, that's where it starts to flatten out. But everything sort of below the apple tree is quite steep in spots. Can I get the gate open? Ah, there we go. Now, how are we going to do this? I'm going to need two hands. Let me just put you there for a minute. Okay, the gate is open. What have I missed? Going to be a cold one on Friday night. Your wood is arriving just in time. Oh, is it? Oh. You love the grasses. What, these? This here? Yeah, normally I would mow down to that apple tree there too, but my lawnmower broke its steering column on Christmas Eve. And this section here just got a bit carried away over the summer, and I've just left it now. It'll all get eaten soon enough. The deer hoe into it, and the wombats and the rabbits and the kangaroos and the wallabies, all the various creatures. Where have the sheep gone? Can't see any sheep at the moment. Hang on. So how cold's it meant to get, Trophy? Thursday and Friday night down to 4. Oh, okay. Now you're in Bar White, are you? Down sort of in that general direction? What sort of elevation are you at, Trophy, at your place? You're okay, you're in Tolmy. So yes, what's your elevation? Do you know? Oh, okay. All right. I'm sorry, got a hair in my mouth, never pleasant. We are just over 1,000 here. That's where the house is. There's another tree collapsed, so we were chopping that up last week. Look at it. They just break. The higher the better. Yeah, I think so. I think so too. But you see, I love cold weather. I don't mind the snow. I like it. I mean, the whole reason I moved up here to the alpine region is because it's cooler. And I don't do heat well. So where the house is, it's just over 1,000 meters. But then you can see where the house is, and then the land sort of slopes up, up, up. We've got a little hay shed there, and then it keeps going up behind it. So the highest point of the property is actually more. I think it's about 1,010 or 1,012. See, it's where another branch came off, and another one. These are Chinese elms, Trophy. There's another branch there came off. They were planted by the previous owners because they said that they're meant to be like fire retardant, or not fire retardant, but they do better in bushfire situations, basically. And that may be well and good, but I'll tell you one thing, they don't do well in wind. Look at that poor thing. Thank you, Trophy. Yes, yes. More than 5, I think. I used to find years ago, I used to work in town a couple of days a week. And on those seriously hot summer days, you'd be down in Mansfield and it might be 34 degrees Celsius. And by the time I got home, there's certain points along the drive home where you know that when you hit a certain spot or round a certain bend or go down a certain dip, that the temperature's going to drop. And it was almost 10 degrees cooler here at home than it was in Mansfield. Oh, the birds have got to it. That'll teach. Well, I've still got a few left. A few pears left on the tree. I'll have to get them today. So yeah, about 10 degrees cooler than Mansfield as a rule up here. And I like that. Well, I'm not entirely sure. Let's see, we've been going for 26 minutes. You're off to bed, Angry Duck. There's a pear. Yes, there is a pear. I like pears. Okay, so Angry Duck's going to bed. Thank you so much for being here, my love. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a good night's sleep. Stay safe. Oh, speaking of a good night's sleep, I've got a funny story to tell you all. But, yeah, about last night. But, yes, I hope you have a good night's sleep, Angry Duck. And that tomorrow you have a wondrous day. Joy, welcome in. High Plains Camper, welcome in. Always a pleasure to chill at the compound with you. Thank you very much. All right. Joshua is making himself known to everyone. Oh, I just had a thought. I didn't prune that tree, did I? This is our woodshed just here. So all the wood's going to be... They'll have to drive into the paddock, turn around and come back through and then dump all the wood here. And then my daughter and I will probably spend the next 2 weeks loading into here. But I didn't prune this tree. I pruned all the driveway trees. And I forgot about this one. That's a bit of a bugger. Hopefully it'll survive okay. This one is a golden ash. It's just starting to come into its golden colour at the moment. I will open this, this gate. There's our milking stanchion shed. Right. There's some firewood still waiting to be split. It's looking good. It's been drying in the sun. But for the moment, I think, oh, this is tomato. Strangely, tomatoes always seem to grow outside my woodshed. A pecan tree, that one there. No, it's a golden ash. I don't think I've got any pecan trees here. It's not looking very golden, but you can see around the edges it's certainly starting to get that beautiful yellow colour. And that one there is a plane tree. And then we got the liquid amber. The colour on that is incredible. last year's, the autumn video I did last year. You can see some amazing foliage and amazing colours. But don't worry, I'm sure to do another autumn video this year. So let's take you in here. The colours are starting. Yeah, they are, Joy. It's sensational. I'm so excited about that. All right, let me pop you there so you can all look at a bit of greenery while I feed the chickens. So I'm giving them their fermented grains, which hopefully you can see there. Woo! There we go, fermented grains. Don't know if you heard the hiss when I opened the lid then. There's some all the gas build up and the pressure from the fermentation process. Hello, you lot. There we go. Right. So now I will put the battery pack back in my pocket and we'll head in and watch them eating for a little bit. Hello, children. Hello, hello. Oh. Let me get over. Now. Behave. Poor Quill, the black rooster, has lost his tail. They're all molting at the moment, so there's feathers everywhere and in there in the main coop where they sleep. Yeah, they're all molting. But in the main coop, there are feathers everywhere, like absolutely everywhere. So over the next couple of days, I'll have to get in there with a rake and I'll clean it all out. But he does look very funny without his tail. That rooster, he has such this really impressive tail. And I think, when was my last live? I did my last live on Saturday. So the day before that, he had his full tail on display for the whole world to see. And then Saturday morning, I came in to feed them and his entire tail had disappeared. They do look very odd without their feathers. But come spring, I'll be doing some more Araucana eggs in the incubator. And I'm thinking I might even get a couple of Wyandotte hens. I've had Wyandottes in the past and they are beautiful looking birds. They're especially like the silver laced and the gold laced Wyandottes, if you're not familiar with them. Really stunning birds. And I think were probably some of the first chickens I even started with. But they spent so much time being broody that I really didn't get a lot of eggs from them. And so I ended up trying different breeds, as you can see here. But I want to go back to getting a couple of Wyandottes only because the last time I was using the incubator, where am I getting my chooks from? The Araucanas, so the black one, the two silvers, that white one there. I've bred all them myself. The black rooster is the only rooster I currently have. So it means that the Araucana breed is kept pure. I don't incubate any of the eggs from the other birds because they're different breeds. I like to keep my breeds separate, or not separate. I don't like to intermix the breeds when I'm hatching eggs. But the others, those two came from a friend. And then I've got two white leghorns. They came from a lady in, sort of getting near Seymour. I can't actually remember exactly where, Trophy, because, I mean, they must be getting on to about 8 years old now, those two big white leghorns there. I mean, and they still lay, not at this time of year. They're not laying as much as they used to. And I'm probably not going to replace the leghorns with other leghorns. I'll try some different breeds. But what I liked about the idea of getting some more Wyandottes is because they do go broody so often, I thought it would be an easier way to get my Araucanas hatched. Because every year I put Araucana eggs in the incubator, and inevitably at some point because they take 21 days to hatch, from the time you put your eggs in the incubator and then switch your incubator on, if all goes well, it takes 21 days. And the last 3 years in a row, the power's gone off at some point during that 21-day period. No, you don't. You have to stay there. We've got Foxy Loxies. Yeah, we've had the power go out. And so when that happens, you have to basically ditch all your eggs and start again. And I'm sick of doing it, quite frankly. So I thought, well, look, if I reintroduce some Wyandottes into the flock, it only has to be 1 or 2, right? And when they go broody, I can put a clutch of eggs under them and they can hatch the eggs. That would probably make the Wyandottes very happy. It would make me happy because it's be less work for me trying to sort of keep the humidity and the temperature right. And how's our view looking? And the chicks would probably have a great time as well, because it means that I wouldn't have to keep them in a brooder box. The mum could just look after them. And they can run around and all be happy together. And yeah, I think it's a much better idea than putting them in an incubator. Also, I have been told, and I don't know if you've heard this, Trophy, or anyone in the chat who has chickens, that eggs hatched in an incubator are more likely to be roosters. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. I've had several people tell me that recently. Is our view? And I'm sick of getting roosters. Last year, I think, when I did, oh no, my most recent hatch, the first attempt, I lost power at, I think it was about the 18-day mark. The power went out for 8 hours. So all the eggs had to be thrown out. And I started again. And only one of them was a girl. All the rest look like they're roosters. But the same thing happened last year. I put in 12 eggs last year, and every one that hatched was a boy. So as people are telling me that eggs hatched in incubators are more likely to be roosters, I thought, well, what the heck? I've got nothing to lose by giving it a go. So that's what I'm going to do. Get myself some Wyandottes, add them to the flock, because I do need some more hens. Since I've had 2 years worth of roosters, I need some more hens. But yeah, if they every time they go broody, I'm just going to start shoving eggs under them. Look at that, Trophy. Rains are coming. Oh, your neighbour hatched 5 eggs and 5 roosters. Yeah. You see, I'd never heard that before. I've never heard that bit of folklore that incubators are more likely to give you roosters. Yeah, there's meant to be, they are saying a possibility of a little bit of rain this afternoon, but not a lot. I mean, when I last looked at the forecast, they were saying it was like a 35% chance. I haven't looked at it this morning to know if that has been updated at all. Usually I figure if it says 35% chance, I sort of err on the well, that ain't going to happen type thing. Oh, 55% chance. Okay, great. Just so my wood's being delivered. 1 to 5 now, so yeah, okay. Okay. Oh well, see what happens. Now either it will or it won't. So there you are, folks. There's a wombat hole. Admire that. Tomorrow 85% rain. No. Well, I mean, it's good. We need the rain. I'll have to find a very large tarp to sling over my firewood. Now all the cows, at the wombat hole, yeah, they're huge. That's why when I have the hay being cut, I go around the paddock and I I hammer star pickets. We call them star pickets in Australia. I know you folk call them T-posts, I think. Quite a cave, yeah, it is. But I'll hammer star pickets and then I will attach streamers to them. And that way the tractor driver knows where they all are. He can see them quite clearly, and that way he can just drive around them. That's a small one. They can get so much bigger than that, can't they, Trophy? Do you have many wombats where you are? Just going back, Australorps were bad for... Oh, okay. No, Isers never get broody. I think they're bred that way. I've never tried the Cochrane. Yeah. Yeah, they do. They make huge networks of tunnels under the ground. Let's see if we can go a little bit further up the hill. So on Saturday, I let all the cows into the top paddock where the grass was really long. Give this paddock a bit of a break. And you can see the grass is already coming. But we're just going to sort of lurk around here. There's the view from the top. look around here while we wait for this wood delivery. Cows are up there having a drink. Actually, I won't disturb them because if they know I'm in the paddock, I've got the gate open so they can come into this paddock easily enough. But because I've got the gate open down there for the truck, when it turns up so it can turn around, what I don't want is a host of cows waiting. Just adds that one extra element of trouble. Hey Pumpkin, my love, hope you're doing well. So we're waiting for this wood. That's an old wombat hole. That one's starting to collapse. Look at that gold. Oh, on the golden ash. I know, it's stunning, isn't it? You'll have to check out, I mean, you've probably seen it, Joy, when I released it last year, the autumn video. I don't think it actually had autumn in the title though. It might have been, I think the thumbnail was showing cows in snow, I'm not sure, but I don't remember what it was called. But if you saw that video, you'll see that particular tree and all the others here. I mean, the colours are just sensational. I'm going to be working very hard at this garden over the next 12 months or more. Years and years and years ago, when I lived in Melbourne, I had a much smaller garden, of course, and I really wanted to get my garden into the Australian Open Garden Scheme, which is a thing where certain gardens are picked in each state, and those gardens once or twice a year, usually as in twice being like a weekend, are open to the public. You're on car. They're open to the public, and people, I think they pay like $5 or $10 and they come in and have a look at your garden and they get ideas and for their own gardens. And I want to do that up here, and clearly I have a way to go. Oh, hello, is that Lento? Welcome in. Oh yes, they certainly can, Joy. It would have been about 2 or 3 years ago. We actually had to put a cow down because it broke its leg when it fell into a wombat hole. Well, actually, I think it broke its pelvis. The vet wasn't 100% sure. They said either it could have broken its pelvis or its leg. Hello, Jason. That's Jason from Okies Eden and Chef Zed Kitchens. Welcome in. Welcome in. We're waiting for some firewood to be delivered, Jason. Since I'm not getting the solar system installed quite yet, I figured, what the heck, I'll put some of the money I put aside for the solar system and buy some extra firewood. So it is on its way. When I started the live, or just before I started the live, they said they were almost ready to leave. And so we'll get to see it all being delivered and dropped off. And then once that happens, we'll actually be able to go on a bit of a walk. There's the little blue spruce. So yes, I have grand designs, folks. I've got to turn all this mess back into a garden that I could actually open to the public. And I reckon I can do it, you know. I've done it before. Not up here, but I have done it before. A special bush. No, that bush is a a kangaroo apple trophy. So named because the leaves have the same shape as a kangaroo's paw. Hello, Miss M. So yes, I'm talking about how I'm going to try and turn this garden into something that I can enter into the open garden scheme. I've got a bit of work. I certainly won't be getting it in there this year, but 5-year plan. I think a 5-year plan is achievable. Don't you? The kangaroo apple, yeah. You don't eat them when they're green. There is some fruit on the kangaroo apple. Let me take you back and show you, because not everyone will know what a kangaroo apple is. So it's an Australian native fruit, a bush food, as they say. And when they're green, they're extremely toxic. So you don't eat them. You've got to wait till they get red, I believe. So let me find a leaf. All right, so see here the shape of that leaf. So you've sort of got 3 parts to it. It's almost like an arrow, but that is it's called a kangaroo apple because that is the shape of a kangaroo's footprint. And then they have these incredible purple flowers, and you can see some green kangaroo apples just here. They're the ones you don't eat. But look at that marvelous colour. Now down here, in amongst the mess and the weeds, you can see some starting to change colour. Hopefully you can you see those? They're a bit difficult to see. Ugh. So they're in bunches. They're green down the bottom, and then they're starting to turn yellow in the middle. And then up here at the top, oh, it came off. This beautiful deep orange colour. How would I describe the taste? Did I see? Um, I'll be honest, Kirsty, I can't tell you. It's actually been a very long time. This one just self-seeded here in the spring. So this is its first season in this garden. I haven't grown. When I lived in Melbourne, I had one in the garden. I lived in Northcote, which is an inner city suburb. I had one in the garden. A lot of people, I notice it's sold a lot as like an ingredient in condiments. Let me just pop you here. Let's see, I'll break it open. Yeah, okay. So it's very, don't know how well you can see that. It's very seedy, which is probably why it ended up growing where it's growing. And I'm not game to eat this yet, Kirsty, because I have a feeling that they're supposed to get a darker orange again before you can actually try them. But if I can, what I might do is I'll keep this and I'll plant it. And if I can get enough of them growing next year, I might actually be able to do some cooking with them. I think that would be worth giving a go. I'll put that on there so I can remember it later. Well, I think our truck's got to be here soon. Is that a rosehip? No, it's a kangaroo apple. How are you, Alexander? Are you still in snowy conditions where you are? Robbie and Sonia, the wild huckleberries, welcome in. Yeah, so I can't truly tell you what it tastes like, Kirsty, I'm sorry, but leave that with me. I will endeavour to, once the ones on that little plant have been, are fully ripe, I will try one. But because they are so toxic before they are fully ripe, I'm not willing to give it a go at this point. But maybe by next week, because they're getting pretty red pretty quickly now. So maybe by next week I can give it a go and tell you what I think. I will review a kangaroo apple. Alexander says they've had a bit of snow today around noon, but it didn't last. Okay. This truck's got to get here soon. Oh God. I hope they're not stuck at the bottom of the drive. I told them to bring it in 2 lots. And I did say to them, I said, look, if you're delivering in the area, please feel free to do a run up the drive and just test it and see if you really are, you know, but make sure you really are confident that you can get up the drive. But they insisted that they can. They said, oh no, it'll be fine. I hope it'll be fine. Ace is such a good girl. Running around putting everyone's links up. See the sheep down there? Don't know if you can see them. They get into some crazy places with the trucks. Yeah, they do. They do. And with any luck, the weight of the truck itself with the firewood in there will help it rather than hinder it. Alexander says the ground is no longer frozen here. Spring is coming. That's awesome. I like autumn. Autumn is pretty. And for me, normally in autumn, I can sort of wind down a little bit and relax a little bit more. I mean, obviously you're still bringing firewood in to keep your fires going. You're feeding hay out to your animals every day. But apart from that, it's sort of, it's more relaxing than the warmer months. In the warmer months, you're spraying things. There's more fence repairs, strangely. I guess maybe the animals get more active, so they start testing the fences a bit more. Or the work ramps up in summer. You've got your hay to harvest and to bring in and to sell if you're selling any, or buy if you're buying any. It's just a busy time of year. And then, of course, for us, in the middle of our Australian summer, we have Christmas. So many families are sort of dealing with Christmas at the same time as they're dealing with incredibly hot weather and the normal day-to-day running of a farm. Teal Horse, welcome in. Teal Horse is saying, how are you and how is everyone? I am well. I am well. I hope you're well also. We're waiting on a truck. I haven't really done my farm walk around yet. We have looked at the chickens, but we're waiting on a truck because I haven't had the solar panels installed last week, and they're talking about later in the year now. You can see the old ones are up there still. And I thought, well, clearly I'm not going to have any solar over winter, so I've grabbed a little bit of the money that was going to be for the solar system, and I've bought myself some firewood. Now I do think, folks, I can hear a truck. Hey Dora, welcome in. Explorer Dora 80 is in the house. Well, she's in Bali actually, having a wonderful holiday. It's spring now. That means it's time to start fishing. Yes, that's true. We do have a bit of a water hole here where we can go fishing. Dora is saying hello, Susan, Kirsty, and everyone in chat. But I think I can hear a truck. Did I imagine it? I'm glad life is good. Teal Horse. Now, you're in northern UK, is that right? Have I remembered that correctly? I wish it would hurry up. It's quite anxious waiting for this. Look at this wonderful tree. It's a bit windy up here today. Surely it won't be long. Let's go and sit on the veranda while we wait. Look at these bushing out. These are the ones that I pruned just a week or so ago. That's supposed to be over the little chicken coop. Gimli the fox drags it around overnight, that blanket. So wherever you put it, the next morning when you get up, it's going to be somewhere completely different. Can you see the sheepies? Oh, and my fencing. The fencing for the new veggie garden. I touched base with him yesterday, and he says he should be here early next week. So it's quite possible. It is, isn't it, Dora? I'm sure I can hear a truck. So yeah, it's quite possible that Tuesday next week we'll at least be able to get some fencing on the live. If he in fact doesn't end up coming on a Tuesday, I will do a live on whatever day he does turn up. And we can watch him building, we can watch the start of the veggie garden. That's going to be so exciting. So, let me just catch up with the chat. Everyone's saying hello to everyone. Here we are. It's me. Thought I'd wear a red hat for something a bit different. Something to go with my red shirt. Well, it's actually not even my red shirt. This red shirt I'm wearing is my daughter's red shirt. Because I couldn't find my shirt this morning. It's amazing how things just vanish sometimes. So we'll sit here for a moment. So did you all see my bunnies and carrots? I posted a picture of them on my community page on the weekend sometime, I think it was. So they're made out of fondant. So I made all these little bunnies and little carrots. And they're all going to be utilized on my live on Saturday. I'm going to be making something and using them all. But basically they're for cupcakes. So most Easters I'll either do like sugar cookies in an egg shape, and I'll use royal icing and do some beautiful pretty patterns on the biscuits, and then I use flood icing to fill them. So some years I do the biscuits and other years I do cupcakes. And what I do with the cupcakes is I'll make bunnies, and this year I've made carrots, but I'll make little vegetables. And when the cupcakes are cooked and they're cool, I pipe grass onto the top of the cupcakes, and then I put a carrot or two and a bunny on each cupcake. And so that way it looks like the bunny's like diving down into a rabbit hole. And they're very pretty, and I enjoy decorating cakes. I don't do it as much now that my daughter is older, but I was saying on my last live that I really should do more of that. You saw the post with the bunnies and the carrots? Yeah, so on Saturday, which will be your Friday, I'll actually be doing the rest of the cakes and putting them together, and probably eating them in front of you too. But that'll be good fun. It's been a while since I've made them. Piping grass can be, it can be difficult, but it's good fun. It's good fun. And that's what it's all about, really, isn't it? That and the taste, of course, that's also very important. But yeah, I like decorating cakes. And it's nice when you can share them with people, like real people who are there, and you can say, here, eat this. So I think When my daughter was younger, I used to make a lot of cakes, and it was great because I could make them and taste them and think, yep, this is really great, and I've made this fantastic thing, and it was so much fun. And then I could give them to other people, so I didn't actually have to eat them myself. But now, you know, as the kids get older, you sort of get left with a lot of cake. I know. Who does that? Who leaves cake? But you get left with cake. So I sort of just slowed up. I slowed up with all the cake making and the cupcake making and all that sort of thing. And then after a while, I just sort of forgot about it. I forgot about it. But yeah, last Saturday's live, we were chatting and somehow we got on to cakes and things. And I thought, what the hell? I'm going to decorate some cakes. And so with winter coming, you'll probably see me doing a lot more. What's Joy got to say? Joshua was saying, I was telling Kirsty about the charging tower thing. Joy says, I think finding creativity in ordinary things is a great way to live. Yeah, for sure. I do agree. I think everyone has a creative side with something. And I think that's how we actually got onto it, wasn't it? I was saying how my mother was good at knitting and crocheting and making lace and painting and pottery and all that sort of stuff. My creativity comes in my writing and some of my YouTube videos, I hope. And in cake decorating, which was something that my mother did do. She was a pastry chef. She passed away when I was quite young, so she never personally taught me how to decorate cakes. By the time I got to an age where I was interested, she'd been gone a long time. But I do think my memory of her making birthday cakes for me and making birthday cakes for our neighbours and friends at the time is part of what has guided me in that direction so that I myself make cakes. But I have written an article which I'm going to be sending off this afternoon to the newspaper, because after I did the bunnies and the carrots, I thought this is worthy of a story. And like by the time the article comes out in the newspaper, it will be Easter, like properly Easter. So I've written an article. Hello there, Mike. Welcome in. And it's called Down the Rabbit Hole, Bunnies, Eggs, and Folklore. That's right. It's something like that. It was Down the Rabbit Hole, Bunnies, Eggs, and Folklore. So that will be in the paper next week, the newspaper next week. And then the week after that, I'll probably get it uploaded to Buy Me a Coffee. But what I've done is I've talked a little bit about what Easter was like for me growing up, but also about the folklore and the history around the Easter Bunny. How are you, Mike? Are you well? So yeah, and it's quite interesting, the story of where an Easter bunny came from. Like everyone says, well, you know, the egg, it symbolizes rebirth and spring. But where does the rabbit come into it? And there's a story which, I don't know, should I tell you now? Anyway, it's all to do with the goddess. The goddess of spring came down to earth to bring spring to the land, and she found a swallow, a bird, and its wings had somehow got frozen into the ice and snow, and she helped it as best she could, but she couldn't repair its wings. So she ended up turning it into a rabbit. So that way the rabbit, the creature, could move swiftly as the birds fly over. It could still get around swiftly as it could when it was a bird, but the rabbit maintained part of its bird spirit, I suppose, its bird soul. And so that's why it ended up being a rabbit that laid eggs. And that's why the Easter Bunny came to be. It's all because the goddess of spring found this poor little bird with frozen wings. So that's the story that I've written, which will go into the paper next week, is the folklore around that. And that's a story I used to tell my own daughter and all her friends, all the kids, when they were younger. And it's a story that I still tell most Easters. I think it's a nice story. I do like folklore. I find the stories very, very interesting, and to see how they impact on our lives and our traditions today. Yeah, yep, that's how it happened. Everyone's saying hello, Krista. Is Krista here? Welcome in, Krista. It is a sweet story, yeah. Hello, simply just Krista. Welcome in. We're waiting for some firewood to be delivered, and while we're waiting, we're talking about where the story of the Easter Bunny came in. I just popped in to say hello to Susan as I saw her live. How are you, Krista? Have you moved house yet? Because I know you were you had the place up for sale. Have you sold? Have you moved? But yeah, it's a really sweet story. My mother used to make Easter eggs. She never did biscuits, and she did do biscuits, of course. But like number 24, thank you, yes. Yes, indeed. If you haven't hit the like button yet, folks, please do. See, we've got some autumn colours coming. I don't believe in the Easter Bunny. Well, you know what that means, Krista. No eggs for you. So I'll eat your ones, Krista. Look, the colours are coming. The autumn colours are coming. Where is our truck? And how are you, Raj? Are you having a good afternoon? Nice greenery, it is. It's our autumn. It's our autumn. You can see all the camellia flowers are starting to develop. And we're waiting for this truck. It should be here by now, shouldn't it? I keep thinking I can hear a truck. Let's have another peek down the drive. Yeah, look at these. Aren't they gorgeous? Oh, you've still got snow. Wow. Raj says, I'm good, dear. Josh is saying, I have to tell everyone who I subscribe to, Krista. I'm blind and autistic, and I'm 25, and you're much older than me. Flowers, yes. Yeah, there's still a few flowers around. Not many. A few little hollyhocks there, what's left. Having a last ditch effort. Where's our truck? Yes, everyone's kind here. We're a good community. So yes, Krista, have you sold the place yet? Have you moved? Are you moving? Are you packing? Nice track. This is the top half of my driveway, the flat part of my driveway. And once this truck delivers the firewood, we'll be able to go on a walk. The lawn is super. It is, isn't it? It needs another mow. But we do need more rain. It's still very dry for an autumn, which is a little bit concerning for the summer. I mean, I know we're in autumn. We've got a way to go yet till we really have to worry about summer. But if we end up having a super dry autumn, hang on, a super dry autumn and then a super dry winter, that doesn't bode well for summer. Right. I thought I heard the truck. So anyway, this firewood, when it arrives, it's all going to be packed in here. This side, as you can see, is quite empty. Over here behind the little panel, I've got kindling. But I will pack it from floor right up to the rafters, all the way out to here, all the way out to that little wall. This is the wood splitter, the hydraulic wood splitter. This section here is normally where I put all the logs that still need to be split. So if any trees come down or need to be chopped up during the winter, I'll normally put the uncut logs here and again pack it up to the roof. And as I feel inclined, the wood splitter gets dragged out and they get split and then they get put in there. This is some of last year's. There's a fair bit there. It's not enough to get us through a winter though. So that's mixed species. In there, there's peppermint, there's blue gum, there is messmate. And that burns pretty hot. That's good for like the daytime burning in the wood stove. That's a little bit of red gum. Red gum's good for the overnights, especially if we've got snow on the ground. And then over here, I have a whole heap of other wood that needs to be split still as well. You can see they're quite big. They're too big really to comfortably fit in your wood box when you're burning off. It's not sold yet, Krista. Oh, gee. You've got it on the market though, haven't you? Because I'm sure I've seen videos where you've been saying that you've got it on the market. I see the black cockatoos. Where are they? Oh, they would. They're behind a tree. Oh, the end of January. Okay. Well, that makes sense actually, because that'd be sort of going into spring. It'd be a bit difficult looking at houses in winter, I guess. I'm sorry we haven't got to the cows yet. Oh. Joshua is very good at maths. Joshua loves numbers. Joshua says, God made me who I am, Krista. I wish I can give you a hug. That's so sweet, Joshua. You can bet as soon as I walk up into the top paddock though. Just out walking the dog, I saw a white tip truck drive past with a load of firewood in the back. Could be you. Isn't that funny? How long ago was that, like, as in just? Wind. Oh, is it too windy? Have a good day and nice chatting with you, Joshua. Yes, God made you. About 2 minutes ago. Okay. Krista, thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate you coming to say hello to us. I hope everything goes well with your house and that you get it sold. Okay, Wind. Okay. Well, Trophy says that he's seen a tip truck. So, with any luck, that is our truck. Because it had a big load of firewood on. What sort of dog do you have? I was supposed to get a dog a few weeks ago. I keep trying to get a dog. Every time I think I've adopted one, it falls through. I was going to get a Maremma, and it was supposed to arrive a few weeks ago, and then the owner ended up moving house and didn't need to get rid of the dog anymore. A blue English Staffy. Oh. My last dog was a Hungarian Vizsla. And they sort of look a little bit like a pointer, but they're like caramel in colour. And she got to 17. And then before her, I had a Doberman, and he lived to 19. And I've had a Kelpie that lived to 18 and a Corgi that lived to 21. Yes. Oh, they are. They're beautiful dogs. They're beautiful dogs. Oh, there's a garden stake. Oh, there you go. Grab that. Ah, okay. You were trying to decide between a Vizsla, a German short-haired pointer, and a Staffy. Yes, I've thought about the German short-haired pointers, but I know a few people locally that have them, and I've noticed that quite often there's posts on Facebook saying our German short-haired pointers escaped, and has anyone seen it? And it seems to be quite a regular post on our local page. And they're all different ones. They're not the same dog that's escaping over and over again. So when I saw how many escapees there were in that breed, I sort of thought, yeah, nah. So I haven't got a German short-haired pointer. I might end up with another Whistler. But I've been trying for 2 years to get a new dog. And I wanted to get a rescue, but the problem has been that we've got animals here already, of course. We're on a farm. We've got our sheep and our cattle and chickens, and inside the house we've got 3 cats. And whatever dog I get needs to be animal savvy. And there was one dog we were going to get. It was a German Shepherd, a long-haired German Shepherd, and it turned out that that dog wasn't, we didn't end up getting it because the foster parent found that it wasn't very good with cats. So that one fell through. And then there was a Dachshund we were going to get, but then the owner decided that they would actually keep it after all because they wanted to breed from it. And then I think the last one was the Maremma. And that was good because it had grown up on a farm. And but the guy had moved into the city, and the dog wasn't coping very well in a city environment. And we were all teed up and ready to go, and then he found somewhere to move to that had an acre attached. So he said, we'll give this a go first, which is fair enough. He'd had the dog for 3 years. He really loved it, you know, and if you can keep your animals and you're happy and they're happy, well, that's the most important thing. So I figure that the right dog will come when it's good and ready. And when we're good and ready too. You can't force these things. Otherwise you end up selecting an animal to be a part of your life, a part of your home, that really isn't a good fit. And then it doesn't work out well for you or the animal. I think it's important to get something that suits your lifestyle. It'll turn up. Like this truck. A Cocker Spaniel. My daughter loves Cocker Spaniels. She wants me to get a King Charles Spaniel. That's what my daughter is pushing for. Oh yeah, that's right, it'll happen. I don't need a dog in my life, but I would like a dog in my life. And it'll happen. It'll happen. It's been about 2.5, 3 years for us, I think. No, 2 years, I think. Yeah. Oh, it's never nice, is it? Well, that truck must almost be here, Trophy. If it was the truck that passed you when you were walking your dog. Well, it still could be. But it's getting windy now, so I don't even know if I can hear a truck. It was coming from Mount Samaria too. So what side of Mount Samaria are you on? Are you on the Whitfield side of Mount Samaria? Yeah, you'd have to be. Yeah, let's work on the theory that was it, shall we? Let's go over here. Oh, so no, probably wasn't. Heading towards the sports ground. Okay. Well, that's a bit of a bugger. Well, let's go up, because I have promised everyone cows, haven't I? Hang on. I thought I heard a truck. See, the trick to getting the truck to turn up is to actually head up to look at the cows. Because as soon as you do that, I can hear something. I can hear something. Another big wombat hole. What we'll do is we'll have a brief look at some cows, hopefully. But they've spotted me now, which will bring them down into this paddock. So I'll shut this gate. You see the cows? All right. Hello, children. Hello, Panda. That's Panda, the black one. He's the steer. The escapee. Look at this. All the hay. All the hair. You watch. This truck will turn up now. So, that's Panda. That's Coco. Don't know who that is. I think that's Oreo. That's Storm. Calf. Another calf. Oh, is that you, Thunderhoof? No, it's not Thunderhoof. So they're all getting up. They're going to have a wander over and say hi to me. That's Ernie. That one's going to have a poo. We don't want to see that. This is Dot. That's my Jersey house cow. That's the cow that would normally give us milk. But I stopped milking her because she was due to have a calf, and then she didn't have a calf. So now we've got no house cow. That's okay. This is Blaze, a lovely girl from last year's herd. This is Thunderhoof. This is the one that chases me all over the paddock and tries to eat my clothes when I'm wearing them. Oh, someone's having a sleep. That looks like Pickles. That's Tamara. That is Fiona. That little one there is Clover. Is it? Are you Clover? That's Penguin, the black and white one. And that white one over there, the little calf. So it's like last year's calf, this year's calf. Hello. That's White Thunder. White Thunder is the child of Thunderhoof. Hello, Penguin. How are you, Penguin? So the sun is coming out. They are beautiful. Thank you. We only ended up with 3 calves this year out of a possible 6, which is a bit of a shame, but they're all healthy. I'd rather have 3 healthy calves than 6 unhealthy calves. It's one of our rainwater tanks. The little steer, the little white one, or is that the one you mean? Yeah, this one is cute. I think I'm actually going to keep it as a bull. As a backup bull, because I've only got the one bull, who is this chap's father. And I think if I keep him as, yeah, he is. He is intact. So it won't be long. And he's not actually that old, really. I mean, he's not even 6 months. I don't know where. Oh, there's Domino. Domino is another little boy. And then this is the other one, Clover. Hey, Clover. Hello. Hello. But going into winter, I'll probably, there's at least 3 cows here that are going to be moved onto other farms in the next 4 weeks. Uh-oh. Thunder hoofs up. But she's not chasing me, so that's the main thing. This is Ernie. Ernie the bull. Hey, Ernie. Ernie is the father. You're a good boy, aren't you, Ernie? Yes, yes you are. He's a very polite boy, is Ernie. But this chap here, the steer, Panda, he's going to another farm in about 3 weeks. And this girl here, who is Coco, is going to the same farm. So that's good, because I'm trying to get the cattle more, yes, that's right, more white than black. So the one that you saw, like the little calf, you know, a white cow with black ears, black nose, black hooves, that is what your standard British white is meant to look like. So eventually that's what I would like to have. The black and white ones I've got there in the paddock, they're also British white. They're full British white. So you can get British white that have black markings. You can even get British white that are black. It's not common, but it happens. Look at that view. But eventually I'd like to have a herd which are all white. That's what I'm working toward, at least. And yeah, I thought it was a good idea to have a second bull on hand, just in case. How's the wind? Be great to keep those black ears in the line and the black eyeliner. Yeah, I know, they look so cute, don't they? They really are. They're very cute cows, and they have lovely temperaments. Like even that bull, you know, you can go up and pat the bull and work around him, and he doesn't care. He'll come up and have a sniff, and then he'll wander off again. And all the British white bulls that I've met, you know, admittedly they all came off the same farm, but the lady I know where I got him from, all her bulls were like that. They're just so calm. And she goes, oh yeah, that's pretty normal. They're all like that, you know. I don't know if they're all like that, but certainly all the ones on her property were. Oh, I'm picking up all my garden stakes. Well, I think we can safely say it wasn't my truck, Trophy. But look at that view. Look at that view. Damn it, says Trophy. Yes, indeed. Look, it will get here. I wanted you all to see the wood arriving. Okay, so That way there, Trophy, is my north. That way, where you can't see much at all, is my south. So that's north. So sort of Benella's sort of over there somewhere, and Wangaratta's up there somewhere, and Mansfield's sort of over there somewhere. I was completely turned around. Oh, let me get these garden stakes. Well, my friends, let's go sit on the veranda. And we shall lurk together for another 10 or 15, but I think if they're not here by then, I mean, I suppose I could just keep the live going, but we'll see. We'll see. Every now and again I hear a truck thunder past. I think, oh, I don't hear a lot of traffic up here, but if the wind's in the right direction, you can hear it on occasion. Poor old car. Put those there. Be funny if they are stuck down the bottom of the drive, wouldn't it? Well, probably more funny for me than it would be for them, I suppose. Wonder what you'd do. What would they do? How would you get the vehicle unstuck with all that firewood in it? Oh, lizards. All right, let's sit. At least got to see some cows. Not our regular farm walk around. Oh, sit down on the seat here. So that's north. Wind is good, okay. Well, folks, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Tell me all about, because today's our Tuesday, isn't it? So, okay. Is anyone doing anything exciting this week? I'm probably going to spend the afternoon stacking firewood and ringing solar companies. I did get a quote from one of the solar companies I approached, Trophy, but it wasn't quite what I had in mind. Like, it was a good quote, But sort of what I wanted and what he put in his quote were sort of different. So I don't think he really listened to what I was after. But I've still got a few more quotes to get. Come on, truck. All right. Let's sit down here. Turn this round. Okay, there we go. Who have we got? You're about to have fellow bucks. I know. I do like me some venison. Do you like venison? Trophy? Do you like venison? I like venison. I think almost all the red meat I have in my freezer is venison. I'm not going to be buying it when I can get it on the property. So, yes, although croaking season is not the time. I think I can hear a truck. I know, I've said it so many times. Croaking season is not time to be harvesting your venison. It's called the rut. It's when all the male stags start fighting and sort of deciding who's boss, trying to work out their dominance one over the other. And so for about a month, all they do is fight each other. And many of them will fight to the death. Yeah, if you're very careful with the skinning, you can still eat the meat. Yeah, but it sort of has a bit of a yucky smell and a bit of a yucky taste because they don't eat. And I guess it's in some ways they're sort of really adrenaline charged at this time of year when they're fighting and sort of trying to assert their dominance. And I think from what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I understand, all that adrenaline does taint the taste of the meat. Yeah, a bit of a yucky smell is an understatement. I remember, was it last year or the year? It'd be the year before, be 2-3 years ago. We came across a stag here that had been quite severely injured, and so it was put out of its misery, and we kept the meat as dog food and gave the meat to some of the neighbors for their dogs as well, and the dogs wouldn't eat it. And my dog Gaia, when I had Gaia, only ate venison and vegetables that came from the property, so no tinned dog food. And even she wouldn't eat it. Like she's used to eating venison because that was the only meat she had, but she wouldn't eat the venison because she didn't like the smell, I suppose. I mean, it's a pretty horrendous smell. I could open the fridge door and smell it. Shansta, Welcome in, my dear. Yeah, I take 2 weeks off every April just to hunt. Do you? Wow, you're keen. It's all we eat for red meat. Yeah, for sure. Fallow and Samba. Yep, I completely get it. Yeah, they do. They do. They're very nice. No, they don't. They don't eat. It's all about fighting. So they don't have time to do things like eat and take care of themselves. They do, poor buggers. Well, Shanster, where are you at the moment? Are you on a holiday? Are you on a boat? Oh, Ace, thank you. Thank you very much. Where do you go hunting, Trophy? Do you do it locally or you head off into the wilds of Victoria somewhere else? Back in the States, says Shanster. That's Shannon. I'm back in the States getting ready to leave for Africa. That's right. You're going to Africa, aren't you? Wow. Wow. What can I say? That'll be exciting. How long are you going for? Oh. Ace has put up her own link. Everyone should go across and check Ace out. Ace is a wonderful person. A wonderful, wonderful person. 2 weeks. So you're going in 2 weeks and then you're going to be there for 2 weeks. Okay. That's good. That's awesome. 2 weeks is just the right amount of time too, I reckon. Long enough to really get a good look at the place and not too long that you start to get homesick. Yes, I hope to get to see the big 5. Okay. Yeah, well, there's certainly plenty of state forests around. Yeah, private. Yeah, I knew what you meant. Well, I keep saying I think I can hear a truck, and then it doesn't end up being a truck at all. There we go. There's me. We're just sitting waiting for a truck that's not here yet. But I don't know how long it's going to be. It's very late. It should have been here ages ago. It should have been here ages ago. And it is so exciting watching the wood when it gets dumped out of big trucks. I mean, I could always film it and put it into a video. I still haven't finished my summer video. Jay! Welcome, Jay. You could always fire the stream back up when he arrives. Yes, I could. That's true. But it would be a very short stream, potentially. Late is on time for delivery people. Yeah. Yeah. Can be the case. You're quite right. How are you, Jay? I'm okay. It's Tuesday here in Australia. And it's probably 9:30, 10:30. It's about 11:35 at the moment in the morning. I'm starting to think about lunch. Don't know what I'll have for lunch today. I might make a quiche. It's actually an old hat, Ace. I just don't tend to wear it much because the one I wear on the farm has the big flap at the back so that my neck doesn't get sunburned. And so when I got that one, even though it's not a pretty hat, it was a more practical hat, I suppose. But I figured, oh, there's not a lot of sun out today. I'll wear my old one. And it's very pretty. It's got a little bow at the back. You love quiche? Yeah, it's a good way to use up eggs. And I've got a fair few eggs at the moment. Although my neighbours want to buy some, which is good. But, yeah, because I mean, I preserve eggs, as you know. And then I also pickle eggs in beetroot juice. They're always nice and they look sensational because when you cut into them, you've got like the hot pink. So yeah, I pickle eggs in beetroot juice and then a lot of them end up being made into cakes and biscuits, but ice cream. I use a fair few eggs when I make ice cream and when I make quiche. And I've got some ham at the moment and I've got plenty of eggs. So I thought, what the hell, I'm going to make some quiche for lunch. So when I finish this live, I'm going to be making quiche, I think. Jay says it's 8:36 Monday and I'm thinking about bed. Did you have a good day, Jay? How was work today? Shannon says, Jay, Sparky must be in the States. It's that time here too. I keep hearing trucks. All the sheep are barring. Is that a sign? Jay is in, was that Boston? Boston, Massachusetts. Okay. Is that near you, Shannon? I'll just sit here and watch the view. Watching the view. Watching the drive, looking at the sheep. Here are the cockatoos passing over. Jay says my day was pretty good. Thank you for asking. I love my job as an industrial maintenance electrician / mechanic. Ah, okay. What winter veggies are going in this year? Do you grow veggies, Trophy? I am going to be planting parsnips. And I am going to be planting cauliflowers because I like making cauliflower rice. And when COVID happened and everything was locked down, you know, we're trying to be self-sufficient as you can. And, you know, it was one thing to have your own eggs. You can milk your cow and get your dairy and your cheese and your butter and all that from your cow. But one thing I couldn't get was, of course, you can't really grow your own rice. So that was when I really discovered cauliflower rice. So now every year I plant a fair quantity of cauliflower, which I can then sort of pulse down and turn into cauliflower rice. I still love my rice, but cauliflower rice is a very nice alternative and it's healthier. There's some things I still would prefer to have rice for, like if I make butter chicken or do an Indian dish, depending on what the Indian dish is, because I do like my Indian food. I like spicy stuff. And so a lot of those spicy dishes I do tend to have with rice still. Thank you, Mike. Good morning, Nicholas. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. So parsnips, cauliflower, probably some Brussels sprouts. And I know probably half of you are recoiling in horror when I say Brussels sprouts, but it's all in the way you cook them. It really is. My mother as much as she was very creative and did some fantastic things, you know, with her painting and her pottery and her knitting and all the stuff that she could make, and even her cakes, like I've told you, she was a pastry chef. You know what she couldn't do? Vegetables. My God, the things she did with vegetables. I'm sorry, Mum, if you're listening, but it wasn't good. Especially, you know, what you did with Brussels sprouts, Mum. Not good. Not good. My mum tended to boil everything, and she boiled it all together too, you know. So she'd put like Brussels sprouts and peas and beans and carrots all in the one saucepan and then boil them till there was no color left. So, and I'll be honest, I haven't boiled a vegetable ever. After my mother passed away and I learned how to cook as a child, I bought a steamer. It's one of the very first things I ever bought. I bought a steamer and learned how to steam vegetables. And it was so much better. You know, the food retained its color. It was crisp-ish, better flavor. All the nutrients were still within the vegetable. So, you know, they were much healthier for you. So I'll be planting some Brussels sprouts. I am going to be planting sweets. Steamed vegetables, yes, they are amazing, I agree. Coincidentally, I'm making spicy butter chicken tonight. Oh, there you go. There you go. Char grilled Brussels sprouts on the barbecue are great. Yes, yes. The other thing I do is, I can hear a truck, says I, but I mean, look, how many times have I said that this morning? Yeah. Dice it up super fine, okay? Your Brussels sprouts. And then what you do is in a fry pan, you sweat some onions. So get some onions again, chop it fine. Chop your onions fine, get them in a fry pan, let them sort of sweat down a bit. To your onions, you add diced bacon or ham. I prefer bacon. And then to that, you add very finely sliced Brussels sprouts. And you just mix it all together. To that, you add any spices that you want. So, you know, if you want salt and pepper, I generally add, oh, I'm definitely hearing a truck this time. I add smoked paprika to it as well. And really whatever herbs takes my fancy at the time. There is no doubt I can see a truck. I can see a truck. But try that, Trophy, and anyone who's listening, try doing that with Brussels sprouts. And then let me know what you think. Oh, hang on. I better get my battery pack in my pocket. Oh, going to have to try it. Yeah, no, please. And I really want a report back. Well, it is a white truck, Trophy. All right. Oh, listen. Hello there. That's all right. Look, this is our truck, folks. Thought we'd do it as a live stream. Now, follow the drive down. What you might want to do is go into the paddock and turn around and then come back through the gate. You'll see the woodshed there on your right, but if you dump it where you are, you won't be able to get past. So turn around and then, yeah. Thank you, my love. Well, it got up the drive. Brussels sprouts. Oh, yes. Yes, of course. I didn't mention the garlic. You do have to put garlic in it. So ultimately it's onion, bacon or prosciutto, a shitload of garlic because I love garlic, and then add your Brussels sprouts. Alrighty, she's doing an excellent job. How exciting is this? She yes, it's a lady delivering the firewood. Very exciting. So it's quite possible we'll be getting a second load, but probably in like a week or two when we've packed all this away. How am I going to stack it, Nicholas? Slowly. A few hours every day. But there is a trick to it too. You sort of build it up in steps in the woodshed, and then you can climb the steps, and that way you can stack it right up to the rafters. Whoops. So this is messmate and peppermint, yeah? Excellent. I haven't ordered any red gum this time round. I didn't think I'd need any, but when I end up doing the second load, how long will this last? It'd probably get me through winter, but I'm going to get a second lot anyway. So this is all what they call mixed species. There's no red gum in here. Yeah, peppermint wood and messmate. When I do the next load, I will get some red gum in with it as well. Yeah.
What I'll do is I'm just going to stuff it in.
Yep.
And undo the tailgate so the first bit falls out.
Yep.
And then I'm just going to pull all the way forward out so I can swing my tailgate because I need a bit of room on the other side to swing it.
Okay.
I'll swing it right open and then I'll back in sort of on a bit of an angle and we'll tip it out for you.
All right, not a problem. Thank you very much. So this is 10 cubic meters, folks, that we're about to unload. Potentially the first of 2 deliveries. It will probably take my daughter and I about a week to stack it all. And I will show you, Nicholas, how that all works. Red gum is expensive. But really and truly, I mean, the peppermint burns quite well overnight. I don't use a lot of red gum. In the next delivery, I might order, say, 2 or 3 cubic meters of it will be red gum, and then the rest will be mixed species. I think it's always good to have a little bit of a top up of your red gum just in case, because you just don't know what winter's going to be like. You don't know if you're going to get a little bit of snow or if you're going to get lots and lots and lots and lots of snow. And I'd rather be prepared than not be prepared, and especially since we don't have the solar this year by the looks of things, what I didn't want was to be running short on firewood as well. You're going to get a top off for your whiskey and Coke. I was going to say, is that like $5.50? No, Nicholas, it is $1.25 a cubic meter, and I've got 10 meters. So basically, because the solar system hasn't been installed and doesn't look like it's going to be installed at this rate till like September, October, I thought, well, I may as well use some of that money to top up the firewood, because it gives me, what, like 6 months to save up that amount again. Yeah, it is. It's a very good price. All my neighbours use this mill, and it's very good quality wood. But if you need more, I would go with the Mount Samaria mill. All right, here we go. Oh, really? 150 to 160, yeah. Okay. Woohoo! Success! Wow. We're gonna be busy. She did very well. So this is what 10 cubic meters looks like. It's quite a lot. Oh yeah, very well seasoned too. Very well seasoned trophy. If you need more firewood, let me just grab the invoice from this lovely lady and we'll go back and have a... So you got many more deliveries today?
I got a few to do today.
Yeah, I bet.
Nice day for it anyway.
Thank you very much.
Anytime.
So if I wanted to get, with the next load,
Yep.
I was thinking about getting red gum as well. You do red gum as well? You do?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
for that, do you have like a divided truck or not, just gets
Not
tossed in?
generally.
No, that's all right.
We can put a gate in it.
Oh no, that's all right. I was just wondering, just for my own...
If we can do it, if you want to drop in two different spots so we can put a gate in which divides it into two 5-metre paths. So
Okay.
you could get 5 metres of mixed species in the back.
Yep.
And up to 5 metres of red gum in the front. Or we can mix it through for you. Either
All right.
either.
Okay.
All right.
I generally keep it separate, the red gum. But I mean, I can work that out myself anyway. I know what stuff looks
Whatever
like.
suits you, just
Yep.
let me know what you feel like.
Terrific.
All right.
Thank you very much, love.
No worries.
Have a lovely day.
Thank you.
Bye. Success. Hey, welcome, chef. How are you? There goes our truck. Well, I'm glad they got up the drive. Let's have a look, shall we? So what do you think, folks? So yeah, 125 a cubic meter, and I got 10 cubic meters. So later this afternoon, my daughter and I will start stacking this into the shed. I tell you, Trophy, this looks very well seasoned. And it's quite crispy, which is sort of what you want. Do you think I'm going to be busy, folks? It does. Look, like I said, I think I said earlier in the stream, my neighbours get firewood from there and they rave about it. They've been trying to get me to get firewood from this place for years. And they've all said it's absolutely the best place you can go to for firewood. And the delivery wasn't much either, really. It was, what was it, $65 a delivery. And I mean, Kevin, who comes up here and does a little bit of work on the property, he bought some, his son who lives in Mansfield, Kevin and his son live in Mansfield, and his son bought firewood last year, the year before, and it was a local delivery price because where they bought it from was local, and I think he had to pay like $90 to get it delivered. So 65 delivery is very cheap. And there we go. Yeah, it is. And you know, the thing is, they were so apologetic. They said, we're so sorry, because I said, you know, it's 125 a cubic meter, and they said, yes, that's right. And I said, okay, well, look, how much is the delivery on it? And they said, oh, give us your address and we'll work out an exact quote. So I gave them the address, and they came back to me about an hour later and they said, I'm so sorry, you know, but with the price of fuel at the moment, we've had to put the price of the delivery up. And I said, that's fine. I totally get that. I understand. And they said, look, it's going to be quite expensive. And because Kevin's son paid like $100 like last year or the year before, I was sort of imagining something like, I don't know, 140 almost for delivery, especially coming all the way up here. And he's going, oh, you know, it's going to be really expensive. I said, well, how expensive? Just tell me how expensive it is. They go, oh, look, it's $65. I tell you, I almost choked. It was nowhere near what I was expecting. So I've done well, even though I have had to take it out of the money that I had put aside for the solar system. So, but I've got about 6 months, I think, to save up again for that, because I don't think the solar system's going to be going in anytime really soon. But there we go. What do you think? Did I do good? It looks the goods. Everyone's impressed. Everyone's impressed with the firewood. I'm impressed with the firewood. Well, my friends, I think this time... Oh gosh, where are my glasses? They're on my head. My glasses are on my head. All right. So I think this time we might start to say our goodbyes, and we'll sit on the veranda just for a moment or two. So I'll just give you a few minutes to say goodbye to everyone, and to, if you've got any connections that you want to make that you haven't made yet, now is the time to do that. And I'd like to thank you all, of course, for being here. You've kept me company while I waited for this delivery of wood. It took a little bit longer than we all thought it would. No pun intended. But it's here. And I am going to very shortly go inside and put a quiche together. It's going to be a crustless quiche, so I'm going to have a ham on the bottom. It'll be very nice. A crustless quiche. I'm going to make that and put that in the oven, and then I'm going to eat it with salad. And once that's done, I'm going to be heading up there and starting to pack away firewood. Hello, Todd. Oh, Todd. Jay Sparky says, I'm off to bed now, Susan. Take care. Have a great day. Thank you very much, Jay. Thank you for coming in. I do appreciate you. Yes, Todd, we're wrapping up. We've been here for 2.5 hours. It was a very slow start to the live because we were waiting for a truck to arrive that's only just arrived. But it's okay. It's all good. It's all good. Quiche, yes. I like quiche. And I've got a lot of eggs to use up at the moment, so it's either quiche or ice cream. I could probably do both, actually, now that I think about it, because I've got the camp freezer. Even though I don't have a fridge at the moment, I have the camp freezer, so I've got somewhere to keep ice cream. And I'll probably want ice cream by the time I have spent a few hours stacking all that firewood. Thank you. Yes, everyone likes the hat. I love hats. When I lived in Melbourne, I always, because I like history, I always tended to, I'd do one of two things. I'd either dress sort of gothic, but I also had a leaning towards vintage clothes and Edwardian style outfits. And if I was having an Edwardian day, I would always wear a matching hat, and I'd have a matching brolly in case it rained. So I was always color coordinated. I always had a hat and I always had a matching brolly. So I have a fair collection of hats and matching umbrellas. And a lot of the hats don't really get many days out anymore. So I thought, what the heck? I'm going to wear a different hat today. And next week, just to astound you all, I might wear a different one again. Is that Angela? That better be Angela. I've been trying to find... Oh, no, it's Gandalf. Hello, Gandalf. How are you? Hey, Todd. Gosh, everyone's coming in. We're just wrapping up our live. We'll hang around for another 2 or 3 minutes just so everyone can say hello to you all. Thank you for being here. But yes, I do like my hats, Nicholas. How are you, Gandalf? And Chef Sivi. How are you? Better not lose that. Can't lose the invoice. Hit the button, guys. Yes, please. Look, I think we're on 31. And if we're on 31, I do believe that is our highest like count for when we're on a live. So that would be fantastic if you could. I would appreciate it. But yeah, so my afternoon will be all about making a quiche, possibly making ice cream, and then once I've had my lunch, my daughter and I were going to go start stacking the wood. We'll do that for about 2 hours, and then we'll come in, kick back, relax, have some ice cream, and do it all again tomorrow, but without the live. Probably won't do the live tomorrow, but we'll have a live the next day on Thursday, and you can all keep me company while I stack the firewood. That's good fun because we build it up into steps like a big pyramid, and you carry the wood back and forth. That's how you can get it up in the rafters. Nice and easy then. But when am I going to make cordial? It's the wrong season really for cordial. I do make blackcurrant cordial, but I've made that already. And I make rhubarb cordial, but I've made that already. That's a spring thing. So the cordials tend to be more spring, Nicholas. Oh, and I do lemonade, of course. And this past summer, I had a go at making lemon and rhubarb cordial. So yeah, I do lemon cordial, rhubarb cordial, blackcurrant cordial, and then I had a go at lemon and rhubarb. And that was really nice. That was really nice. I was pleasantly surprised by it. But yeah, we've sort of missed the window now for that. Yes, rhubarb cordial is lovely. Have I got any more fruit on the trees? The pear tree has like a handful of pears left on it. Not many, probably about 10. And the nectarine, I think, is pretty much finished as well. What else? The plums, I don't think the plums have got many left either. Susan, try to watch Chef Sivi soon, I recommend. All right, Ace, I will do that. Chef Sivi, if you, once this live ends, I won't be able to access the chat for about 24 hours, I don't think. But if you put a comment or something on one of my shorts, and that will make it easier for me to find you. Plum jelly is so good. Yes, I do make that. I make plum jam and plum jelly. Very nice. But I'm the only one that eats it. My daughter's not big on jam or jelly, so I've sort of stopped making it really. There are squares with 3 prongs, Joshua. Okay, thank you, Ace. The 7th of April. Oh, that's cool. Or do you mean 7th of May? You mean 7th of April for the fire restrictions? Oh man, do I have some big bonfire poles to burn. I've got, I mean, you've seen, I don't know if Trophy's seen it, but down at the stockyard, we've got a huge bonfire pile, absolutely massive. And we've added a lot more to it since the last time you all saw it. April, okay, cool. Well, we'll be burning that on a live, I can tell you. Anyway, my friends, it is time for us to go. I will potentially be back on my Thursday, which is Wednesday if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. And on that day, we'll probably be up in the woodshed for some of it at least. And you can keep me company, and I'll demonstrate how I climb up the steps and get the wood stacked right up to the rafters. What else will we be doing? Saturday here, which will be Friday in the Northern Hemisphere, is the day that we're going to be doing our Easter cupcakes. And so all those little carrots and bunny bottoms are going to be made into a batch of 12 or 24 Easter cupcakes. And I love making them. They're always good fun. So we've got a few things coming up. The fencing for the veggie garden is either going to be late this week or early next week. So he's all teed up and ready to go. He reckons he's just finishing up a job he's on at the moment, and then he'll be up here next. So in the next few days, the veggie garden fence is going in. So we've got stuff happening, which is exciting. It's nice to see. It's nice to see. But, my friends, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Bonfire party live. Yes. Yes. Oh, we can toast marshmallows. Oh, we can toast marshmallows. That'll be fun. We'll do that too. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. It's been fantastic. I'm sorry you didn't get as much cow action as you normally would, but we can make up for that other time. But I love you all. Everyone, I want you to stay safe, be happy, be blessed, and I'll see you all on the next one. Bye, Kirsty. Bye, Nicholas. We'll have a dance party at the farm. Yes, we can all dance around the bonfire. You're right. Ace, my love, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Everyone who's here, thank you so much. And we'll see you all again soon. Take care. Bye. Bye.